everybody, and welcome to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the top 10 things that I wish I had known when I first began playing Enshrouded. So, one of the first things is food. Food is the essential pieces to being able to complete certain bosses and, navigate the game. You can increase stamina and regenerate your health with certain food items. Food items, advanced food items can be made at the farmer here. And in order to make these items, you need to unlock the fireplace. And in order to do that, you have to go find the kettle. And then once you find the kettle, you need flintstone, stone, and metal scraps, and of course the kettle to craft it. So to get water, you have these wells here, and you can just scoop it out. You can make the wells, I believe at the blacksmith. And there's this advanced well, or there's that basic well over there. There's two types. One gives you more water than the other. You get ingredients by coming out into the world and unlocking them. And picking them up, I mean. This is where you get the well. You get the well from the carpenter, not the blacksmith. I was wrong. So this is where you get the wells from. And to make the basic well, you just need some linen, stone, and a wooden bucket, which you also make here. At the bottom here is the wooden bucket, wood planks, metal sheets, and charcoal. So that's how you get water. And that is on the essentials of food. So the second part is mastering the shroud. So one of the first things that I wish that I knew when going in, when it comes to the shroud, was potions. There are these, here they are, shroud survival flasks, which increase your time in the shroud. So this one is the greater shroud survival flask. There's also smaller ones. This one increases your maximum time by 4 minutes. So as you can see, I have max time. I can be in the shroud for 45 total minutes without worrying about it. Another way to increase your time in the shroud is by going to your skill tree, which we'll go over in a minute, and more in depth. But some of the skills, increase your time in the shroud, like this one, Inner Fires. Shroud time, increased by 2 minutes. So some of these will of course increase your time in the shroud. So also another tip for navigating the shroud, and something that I kind of don't do very often, and I probably should, stay on the path. When you leave the path, you're bound to get lost because it is difficult to see in the shroud. Crafting. Crafting is very important in this game. And again, it might seem obvious, but I did not think to actually craft things. So one of the things, so the carpenter has a lot of furniture items and stuff, which is really cool. But one of the things that I did not think about that I wish that I had known right away was, I'm going to come in here to the alchemist, and so you can craft potions with him too, which is pretty cool. But that's not what I wanted to look at. That's like right on top. So to get goo, which you need to make certain items, this does not show up right away. You have to first craft the bug dust. And this is very similar for a lot of different recipes too. You have to craft one thing, so the bug dust, which means you have to get the mortar for the alchemist, and it just takes critter parts. So those are really easy to get used. And then once you craft bug dust, the goo will pop up and be able to craft. And all you need is dirt, shroud liquid, and bug dust to craft it. So that is just one of the recipes that unlocks when you do that. Another thing I wish I had done right away, is I put off getting the bard so long, and you get a bigger backpack with the bard. So you can either get this one, the medium backpack, or the large backpack. And obviously I would unlock, and these unlock based on how much you've done. But when I finally did go after the bard, I had already done everything. And the bard was not available also when I first started playing the game to begin with. So, of course, I didn't have these backpack extensions then either. But now I do. And now I know to go after the bard. Also, another thing that I wish I had known right away is that music. So I'm going to go ahead and craft this real quick just so I can show you. I'm going to pull that down here. Is when you sit and you are getting your rested buff and you play music, it adds to your rested buff. So see that purple bar up in the top left going up? That is giving me more of a rested buff. And if you play with friends, it adds even more to your rested buff as well. So when you have friends and they all play music, it adds more to your rested buff. And honestly, who wouldn't want to play music, right? Like, that is so cool. I don't want to play too long because I don't know if it's copyrighted or not. And another thing about crafting is I waited too long to get the beehive. And the beehive is, of course, the easiest way to get things like wax, because all you need is plant fiber and water, and those are both very easy ingredients to get. And then to get honey, you just make some sugar and some water, and the honey that you make in here gives you a 15 stamina recharge, which is pretty good, considering when you just eat honey, it's like 5 or something. It's not very much. So when you make it here, it gives you more. So I wish I had known to make this sooner. And this was also a quest, and it's just one that I had put off for quite a long time. But anyway, so that is all of the things that I wish I had known about crafting. One of the things that I wanted to discuss is enemy behavior. So a lot of the enemies are really easy to beat. You just avoid, like, the matrons, you avoid the poisonous stuff that they throw out at you. The monstrosity, you avoid, like, the I don't know what they're called, the balls of energy or whatever that they throw at you. But a lot of it is just avoiding. But there's one enemy that stuck out to me. There's one boss specifically that was really hard to beat, and it took me some time. It took me quite some time to figure out how to beat it, and even then it was so difficult. Now I can do it with these because I know how to do it, but before I just couldn't. I was about to give up on the game entirely because I needed to defeat it to move on to the next part. But that would be the Wisp Wyvern. That is the hardest boss in the game, in my opinion, and it's because it actually takes some sort of, like, strategy aside from dodge rolling and whatever. So that one, what you do is you shoot it in the mouth, and when it's about to summon the bug, so it'll open up its mouth wide, kind of pointing, not up. When it opens its mouth up, be ready to dodge, because there's a whole bunch of, like, bombs and fireballs coming down out of the sky that's going to get you, and depending on your loadout, they can get you in one hit, which was part of my problem. It was a massive part of my problem, and I fixed it by picking a skill set, because I actually had my skills kind of even throughout. I also didn't have the best armor on. I was not ready for this fight when I started, right? I didn't think I had to be, because all of the other fights had been so easy up to this point. So this one, when it summons the bugs, it points its mouth out. I'm showing on the screen how I defeated it the last time. But you basically shoot it in the mouth, and then it stuns it, and then you run up, and you start just whacking it, meleeing it. So make sure you have a bow and a melee weapon on you, because that does the most damage. Shoot it in the mouth to get it to be stunned, to stop moving, and then melee it as much as you can. And then when it gets up again, back up, dodge roll all of the bombs and all of the things, kill all the bugs, and do it again until it finally goes down. That's how you defeat it. And that is the only boss that I really had a ton of trouble with. Though each enemy does have its own type of behavior. There are different, like, of the shroud guys, there's the brutes. The brutes, the main strategy is just to keep your distance, because they'll kick you and stun you, and then they'll hit you with their giant sword things, or their axe. I think they have an axe, and it's a one hit. So depending on your loadout, again, it might not be a one hit, but they do quite a bit of damage. So that's kind of how they react, and those are easy because all you have to do is keep your distance. I usually go after them with a wand, and it works out pretty well. that is on enemies, and what I wish that I had known about that. So, stamina is very important, and we talked about food. You want to pay attention to your stamina bar because everything, and I mean everything, can affect it. So, if you're running, right, you're running to a destination, and I have the settings, so I have like max stamina right now, but usually I would be running out of stamina right now, right? So I'm out of stamina, I'm running, I come up against an enemy, I'm still out of stamina, I can't do anything, I can't block because I'm out of stamina, right? I'm screwed. I'm out of stamina, I'm screwed. That's kind of the situation that you run into when you run out of stamina. And another thing too, watch your stamina because it also goes down when you're mining. So I'm here mining, right? I'm mining this rock, and my stamina bar is going down. And it gets to a point where you're out of stamina, and you're just standing there waiting for it to go back up. So kind of try to manage your stamina. Keep an eye on it, because it can be really annoying when it gets to 0, and it takes so long to come back up. But some things that can help with it, of course, are the food. So I usually eat some sugar. And I already have a drink in my thing already. But if I didn't, I would drink that. And that's how I kind of manage my stamina. I do not know. There is also a potion. I do. So there's also a potion that you can take as well. So this potion, Flask of the Fell. So I'm going to hover over it so you guys can see what it does. Plus 20 stamina for 30 minutes. So that's another thing you can do too. Use item. So that gives me even more stamina. So now I'm running, right? And my stamina regeneration is quicker. See? I can mine. And I have that extra little stamina boost. And again, the regeneration is much quicker because of the food that I have. So that is the tip on stamina and managing stamina. It's very important to manage stamina. And like I said, food, make sure you unlock the food as soon as possible. It's so important. Get the kettle for the farmer so that you can make food with the farmer here. Each piece of food does something different. So make sure that you know kind of what each one does and make food to your needs. Make it to your needs. You can have up to 3 food items. Water also early game can be extremely helpful because, and where is it? Do I have it in my inventory? I thought I picked some up. Didn't I pick up some water? Alright, here we go. So water, 1 endurance and 2 stamina recharge. So water can be helpful early game with managing stamina as well. So those two kind of go hand in hand. And skill points matter, and we talked about this again before, but I'm going to go more in depth into this here because they really do matter. So depending on what you're going for, you want to make sure you're putting skill points into those things. So I kind of strayed more towards Battle Mage. When I took on the Wisp Wyvern the first time, I did tank, but it really doesn't matter as long as you have, you know, a main skill set picked. So I, in this playthrough, did more Battle Mage. So the skills that I really wanted to have with this, that I have to have every playthrough though, are Blink, Updraft, and double jump. So double jump is really important, and you can unlock it pretty early on. It allows jumping a second time while airborne. So it's basically just this when you do that little flip. So it gives you a little extra oomph, especially when you're doing like parkour challenges and stuff, but also when you're just navigating the world. So double jump is really cool. Jump attack also goes in with double jump. It helps to have double jump with this. But it's a really good one to have. I don't have to have it every playthrough, but I do have it this playthrough. So updraft though, pressing the jump button while gliding will give you a small height boost. This skill can be used once per flight and it costs 120 mana. So updraft, I'm going to demonstrate that for you right now. So double jump, see it helps me get up here. And I'm just going to jump off of this, and then that's updraft when I just got that little boost of height there. And then that allows me to get across the cavern without running into the lava down there. So that would not have been fun. So that's what that does. And we're about to demonstrate jump attack because we have some friends. I just killed all 3 of them with 1 attack. Look at that. Jump attack comes in very handy. And it won't always be that easy. It depends on how you have your settings. But it definitely can be helpful. So there is updraft again as I come back across here. Alright, so more skill points. So updraft, double jump, we covered those. Blink replaces the dodge roll ability with a short range teleport. So that's this. See? So much fun to use this, honestly. So fun. I love it. So this helps you get away from enemies very quickly. So instead of running and using up all your stamina, I mean, this does use up quite a bit of stamina, so you have to have stamina to use this. So again, back to managing your stamina if you want this one. But it really is handy to have. So that is on those skills that I absolutely have to have every playthrough, but yours might be different. So these birds, a little combat tip here, bonus combat tip, just use a wand on them. You could use a bow too, but I prefer the wand. And another thing too, fast travel, very handy no matter how far away you are from your base. I'm going to use that now. So storage management is very important. You want to have your storage all organized. I kind of attempted to do it here and failed. But these ones are empty because I was still organizing. But like I try to have all my weapons in one storage chest, and I'm going to display them when I finish my builds. These builds are not done. But I try to have everything put together in one storage chest. Storage management is very important. Something that I wish that I had known early game is these magic chests here. You can get them in all sizes. So the very first chest that you unlock is this tiny chest. And I do suggest making a few of these early game because you're going to run out of space in your backpack very, very quickly. But once you get to a certain point in the game, you can then unlock, I think it's after you get the carpenter, because you need, or after you get the blacksmith. So it's still really early in the game because he's like the first one that you go after. It's after you get the blacksmith because you can make nails. And it just takes nails and wood logs to make you get the small chest and the small magic chest. And the magic chest takes the small chest plus shroud spores and shroud liquid. You can get shroud liquid from just venturing into the shroud and harvesting the little mushrooms down there. And shroud spores you get by doing various things. Killing enemies, opening chests within the world, that kind of thing. So you get those very easily. As you can see, I have an abundance of those. So that is how you make the magic chest. And the importance of the magic chest is, and that's why I have them all over here. I have so much stuff. I hoard everything. I'm terrible at that. So the importance of the magic chest is so that, as you can see, I only have like a few things in my inventory, right? And I'm actually going to, just for the sake of this, demonstration, I am emptying it. You can see me emptying out my inventory right now, of everything except for, I'm keeping the food here. Of everything except for like the food and the stuff that I usually take with me on journeys. So like I am emptying it of the water, of the dirt, of the lime, of all of these crafting materials, just for the sake of this. And then I'm going to come over to, let's say, the bard, right? My inventory is empty. You can even see this is all I have. I don't have any of the items you need to craft anything at the bard. But I'm going to come over here and I'm going to craft, look at all this, palm wood logs, fabric, saffron. I'm going to craft this photo. Alright, and see, that is the importance of the magic chests. So, the magic chests allow you to craft items without having to have the ingredients in your inventory. See, I just placed that there. The building. So let's go over the building mechanics. So I'm going to pull out, I have this hammer here, and I'm going to come over here and grab some building blocks, which you can make in the workbench. So I'm just going to grab a few different ones so I can show you different things here. So one of the things that I wish that I had experimented with more in the beginning was the building. Because as you can tell, I am terrible at it. But that is beside the point. There is so much you can do in this build system that it is so overwhelming, honestly. And that is a good thing. Enshrouded, when it comes to building, beats out all other survival crafting games. Just blows them out of the water completely. So when you first open up the build menu, you will see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So those 5 blocks there. And I don't know which ones will default for you, but for me, when I just did it, it defaulted to these ones. So there's different sizes. So this is the smallest size that you can use. So I'm just gonna place some down and kind of create like a little square, right? I'm just gonna create a little square and I'm gonna put one on top like that. See, so these are the smallest ones that you can get. And these are actually, this is a single roof block. So you can create your roof from scratch as well. That's something I have not yet experimented with. And this is a single, terrain block. So you can mess with the terrain. So, like, I'm just going to remove some of the terrain using it, because I don't have any in my inventory. So that's the thing with building. That's the one thing you cannot take from magic chests for, is building blocks and terrain stuff to use for terrain. But you can remove terrain and you can also place terrain. So I am actually going to demonstrate that. I'm going to get some dirt. So you just hit the ground with your pickaxe to get some dirt. And that is how you get... So now I can use... And I can replace the terrain that I put down. See how it, like, I made that little dip. Anyways, so I did that. So you can do that. That's a terrain block. This is just a regular... This is a different sized building block. So you can see. And this is another terrain block, where I just placed down some limestone here in the middle of the road like that. So it just kind of... Yeah, like that. See? You can also turn snapping on and off. So I'm going to turn it off so I can do this. Place that there. So that is... So here I'm going to... See? And you can also place items in the air when you turn snapping off. See? There is no physics or gravity in the game, which is pretty neat. So those are some of the building blocks. There's also bigger ones. There's the wall pieces. There is preset window pieces, which I like to use a lot of. But sometimes you just want a bigger window or a smaller window, so you can fix that by using these pieces here. So I am going to, first, I'm going to make it smaller. See? By doing that. See, you can make it like that. Or I can make it bigger again, like that. So you can add or remove pieces. I can add like a little bit of detailing around it. You see how different the blocks can be? And then there's this one, which you get like right away when you first start playing the game. And I'm just going to put it on here, like so. Or actually here in the sun where you can see what it looks like. So you can do kind of like a log cabin vibe. So something you can do with this too is that I thought about is do on the inside you can have a completely different wall type. So you can have this palm wood wall on the inside and then cover it on the outside with this to kind of give it a log cabin vibe, but give it more of like an elegance on the inside. So you can do that, you can double it up. And the easiest way to do that would actually be to take this and just place it right like that on the outside. And there you go. You don't have to do it one by one, but you can. So like if you want part of it showing, you can do it or whatever. So you can also have like varying styles and stuff. So like say I had this down, right? Hold on, wrong one. I can do this and then this. And what I could do is cut into this like so. Just bear with me here. I don't experiment much. And then put these in the middle to give it a different look. See, look at that. It gives it just a little bit of a different look. So you could do that with it. You can do it in any shape you want, actually. You can also do that to walls as well. So, like, if I come, where did I make that wall? Over here, and I wanted to do that to the wall, I could do this. And maybe I wanted to add, you know, a bit of an outcropping or something. This is why I don't like using this block, because it's so finicky. It makes it look weird. Oh, and if you want to undo, press Y. You can press Y to undo building action, and it undoes. So if you mess up, it's all good. So like say, yeah, let's use this one. So yeah, you can do that. So it looks like it's a boarded up window, kind of, or a closed window. But it's not a closed window. It's a wall. So, you know, that's a cool thing that you can do with this. So you can do literally anything that you want with these building blocks, and it's amazing. There's so much possibilities, and I haven't even scratched the surface of it, of course, but this is getting to be a really long video. I can brag about this game all day long, but what this video is about is things that I wish that I knew, and these are things that I wish that I knew.